Hey, what's up? This is David from Salsa of Sweden, and in this video I'm gonna show you and help you find the best salsa school or the best salsa teacher for you. Now, before we go into it, I just need to make sure that we're on the same page. So there's different reasons for wanting to start dancing salsa, right? So there might be social reasons. You want to meet new friends. Perhaps you just like the dance and you want to improve and get better, and it's not always the same place that will satisfy all your different goals. Okay, so that's important to keep in mind, whether you want to meet as many people as possible or whether you want to learn as fast as possible and become the best possible dancer. These places that provide that will not always be the same places. Okay, so that's why I'm gonna speak to a sort of mixture of both of them. So I'm gonna assume that you are the stereotypical salsa student who wants to both meet people and also get high quality teaching and education at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna assume you're that person because I'm pretty sure that you probably are. Now, first of all, what's important in a salsa school? It's individual, so you have to figure out also for yourself what is most important to you, but primarily you want to see whether you like the kind of people that the teacher in that school is attracting. So specifically that means we have different personalities, different teachers, and they will gather students around them which match their personalities. So you basically entering a little bubble of people with a specific culture and a specific way of interacting and relating, okay? So let's say you're around 20, and that probably means that you will feel more comfortable around people in your age, although you might not have a problem with people of different ages, but most people want to hang out with their peer group. So there's going to be a teacher or a school where you'll find more people of your age. Or let's say you're 50, then perhaps you're going to feel more comfortable and also meet more people that you can actually relate to in a different dance school. And that really depends on you know, what kind of culture they have established, what the teacher is like, and perhaps also the age of the teacher. So how do you find out? Well, look at the school's Instagram, Facebook, social media, whatever, and look at the videos. Look at the students, don't look at the teacher only. Look at the students and see if these are the kind of people that you would like to spend 1, 2, 3 hours per week with. Yeah, so that's how you can compare. And if you see that these are your kind of people, then it's much more likely that you're also going to enjoy learning at that same school. Yeah, and then what you can also do is have a quick chat with the teacher, and like you can always email them, message them, and perhaps even call them if they're a little old school, and just ask them a couple of questions, because the teacher in a little bubble, in a little culture that you'll find in salsa classes will influence what it's like to be there in the evenings. So if you click with a teacher, it's very likely that other people like you, who like the kind of stuff or the kind of communication that the teacher likes, will also click with the teacher. So that's a way to find out. Usually, so moving on, usually your best bet to find dance schools is just to have a look at Google, and also to have a look at Facebook groups, kind of like salsa in Berlin or Latin dance in New York, and just have a look around, see the people who post, go to their profile, see if you like the way they dance and you like the way they appear. Because just because like somebody is the first spot on Google, or because somebody it's like the dance school that has existed for 30 years in this city doesn't always mean that A, they're the best teachers, or B, that you're gonna get the best possible experience. It only means that they have been doing this for a long time and maybe are good at marketing, that's what it means, right? So you have to really shop around, and if you really want to get into it, I would even recommend that you go to the trial classes of all the different available schools, if they have some, and just, you know, see how you like the vibe. And you might even sign up for courses of the different schools until you find the one that you want to stick with and that you like most, the one that you can relate to most. Now, once again, so how do we identify the best school? There is not really a best school, but it really just depends on what you want. The way you're gonna identify the best teacher, and I know it's a bit difficult because when you're new to this, it's hard to find out exactly what good teaching in this area, dance and salsa dancing, feels like and looks like. And also it's hard to identify, to even see differences between the levels of the teachers, because not all teachers are on the same level, I mean skill-wise. So it's always good to ask around if you know anyone who always dances. Otherwise, you obviously, if there is a chance that this person exists, pick the person who has the best teaching combined with the best energy, like the best kind of group and bubble, and the best kind of skill level. Yeah, it might be rare to find, but this is really what you're looking for. Now, oftentimes you cannot have everything at once. So that means you're gonna have to pick one of these three areas: skill, teaching abilities, and vibe of the group, depending on what's important to you right now and depending on what level you're at. Okay, so that means when you start out, you probably just want to have the social aspect and the group setting in focus. Yeah, that means that, because you're not going to stick with the dancing in the class if you don't like the energy in the group, right? So that's the most important priority when you start. The first thing you do is to go to the class where you feel these are my kind of people, I like this, I like being here, I like the culture that the teacher has established. That's the most important thing to start with, okay? So let's say 6 months in, 1 year in, a little later, then you think like, okay, now I would really want to get better. Hopefully your teacher is already the same person. But if you're not the same person, maybe you want to start going to the person who actually teaches really well, which is not the same as the person who dances really well, okay? So the person who has the best culture, the person who dances the best, and the person who teaches the best are not always the same person, okay? But in the beginning, culture. In the second step, you go to the best teacher, and I guess like you get a feeling for it after a while. You get the feeling that you're safe in the class. You get the feeling that you actually learning, that you feel built up by the energy in the group, and also you can talk to people and ask, you know, who's the best teacher around. So that's what you're gonna go to then for the next, say, 1 to 2 years. So now you're at 3 years. Yeah, your first year in the good culture group, and the second year in the teaching group, and the third year perhaps also. And then you just want to get better. And after a certain point, you're going to be so good that it doesn't matter how good the teaching is, because you can basically just see it with your own eyes. Whatever the person is saying and however much sense it makes, you can grab what they're doing, and then you can improve yourself based on that. So once you reach that level where you can see movement and you can identify figures and you can just copy them, even if the person is horrible at explaining what they do, then you go to the best dancer. Yeah, so that's the very last step. Then you go to the best dancer, and then that's how it becomes full circle. Okay, so really important, depending on your stage, ideally you find a perfect dancer, perfect teacher with a perfect culture. Very rare, yeah. If you find that person, great. So that's perfect. Otherwise, move from group, from feeling, from connections to a teaching, educational skill to just skill and a really good dancer. Okay, that's gonna serve you best. So that's how you identify the best dance school and the best teachers, and that's how you pick the right one depending on the stage that you're at. Okay, so I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please post in the comments below, or let me know, send me a message on social media, anywhere, about what question related to salsa, learning salsa, improving in Cuban salsa specifically, and I'm going to try to answer in video form, simply because that's a little project that I'm doing right now. Thank you so much for watching, and keep dancing.